The referees just couldn't wait. Barcelona have just won their first game of La Liga to start off their title defense, and the refs already have to give them a controversial decision. Barcelona, man, that's just all that I got to say, because that second goal should have never counted, and that referee put the whistle in his mouth, got the Mallorca players to think he was gonna stop play just for him to let it continue, and Ferran Torres scores to make it 2-0. You know what? They'll cry about Madrid. They'll say that everything is in favor for us, but they don't call out when decisions like that go their way. Very interesting. But let's talk about it, because Mallorca 0, Barcelona 3. I need you to get in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this match and who was the player that you thought stood out. Because for me, Lamine Yamal was the best player on the pitch. Got the assist for Raphinha, and then right at the end, with the last kick of the game, he scores a very good goal. And you know what's crazy? I don't think Barcelona played that well today. I think they just took care of business. It was a decent performance, right? I expected Mallorca to get battered. And the fact that they played with 9 men for a majority of this match, and for them to only lose 3-0, I think that's a little bit of a moral victory that they can leave with. Because before this match, when I was asking for score predictions, people were talking about 5-0s and 6-0s, something crazy like that. But nah, Barca, they did take care of business, right? I think the first goal that they scored, Lamine Yamal puts a great cross into the box. Raphinha, unmarked, open header. I don't know what that right back is doing for Mallorca. He's just ball watching. How come you're not marking Raphinha? If a ball gets played into the box, why are you just watching it? Attack the ball. Defend it. Try and clear it, right? That was a very good ball that Lamine Yamal played, once again showing you that he's the main playmaker in this Barcelona team, right? Like, everything that Lamine Yamal does is at a very high level. He was causing problems for Mallorca on that right side. But I don't think he had an amazing performance, right? I don't think Barca as a whole went out there and cooked, right? I think they did what they were supposed to. They dominated possession. They had the most chances, right? They dictated the tempo. And all that Mallorca can do was sit back and hope to hit them on the counter. But when the game was 1-0 up for Barca, Muriqi missed an absolute sitter for Mallorca. It should have been 1-1. How do teams always manage to miss sitters against Barca? I don't get it. And the thing is, even though Barcelona were the better team today, in that first half, when Mallorca had 11 men on the pitch, they were doing a pretty good job with that offside trap. They didn't really get blown for offsides like that. Not that I'm really remembering. They were trying to do something. They were in and around Barca's final third for certain parts of that game. But then the second goal goes in. And I'm just trying to understand, how does the play not stop? Lamine Yamal gets the ball, cuts inside, takes a shot. The defender blocks it with his head. Immediately, he stumbles, and then he falls down and grabs his head. The referee puts the whistle in his mouth, makes the Mallorca players think he's about to blow and stop the play. And he doesn't. Then Ferran Torres gets the ball, and he scores a very good goal. But let's be honest, how is the play continuing from that spot? The defender that was on the floor was interfering. The nearest defender couldn't even close down on Ferran Torres because his teammate is on the fucking ground grabbing his head. Why do you think nobody celebrated? Even when Ferran Torres scored the goal, everybody thought it wasn't going to count. You didn't see a big celebration, or you didn't see them thinking that that was going to go in or it was going to be a goal that stands. There's a reason for that, because everybody knows for head injuries, you stop the play. If a player collapses on the pitch, you stop the play. It's simple. And he fell when the ball was still in the air after he cleared it. It's not like he waited for Ferran to get it and then score and then he fell. No, he was already on the ground. Play continued. The referee looked like he was going to blow the whistle and then he didn't. I don't understand that decision making at all. And then he gives the Mallorca manager a card for complaining about something that everybody's thinking. How are you letting the play continue? It's idiotic. Aside from that, and maybe you could say Raphinha could have possibly gotten a red card for his foul, but I thought that was more of a yellow. Maybe I got to look back at it. I don't really think that the referee did that much wrong, but that second goal completely killed the game. Barcelona are going to always win against Mallorca if they go up 2-0. They're never going to bottle a lead like that. Now, let's talk about the red cards, because I know some people are going to say, oh, they weren't deserved. Brother, let's be real. Mariki was playing Karate Kid with Joan Garcia's face. That's a red card every day of the week. Initially, they gave him a yellow, and then they went to VAR to check it. I said, he's cooked. Like, that's a red card. He kicked Joan Garcia right in the face with his spikes. The first player that got sent off, that was his second foul. That was a hard foul on Yamal. Second yellow card. Red card. You're out of here. Those were fair red cards. Aside from that, once they went down to 9 men, I thought Mallorca were cooked. I thought they were about to get sacrificed to the football gods. I thought Barcelona were going to offer Mallorca up as tribute. I thought it was over. But they held on. They defended really well in that second half. But at the same time, they were basically playing a formation of like a 5-4. 5 defenders, 4 midfielders, everyone just get behind the ball, right? Barca's back line didn't have that much to worry about because Mallorca had no outlets. At that point, they're just doing damage control. They're just trying not to let the scoreline get out of hand. And they held on for the entire second half until right at the end where Lamine Yamal gets the ball, cuts inside, carries it a bit, and then scores a very good goal. And Lamine Yamal's been trying to do that all game. And Mallorca were defending it pretty well. But with the last kick of the game, you let him get that off. Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? Look, Lamine Yamal, man of the match. I think he had the best performance. But overall, I don't think Barcelona dominated like what a lot of people thought they would. Yeah, 3-0 makes it look like it was just belt to ass and complete and utter, domination, a phenomenal performance. But if you actually sat there and watched the 94 minutes of this game, you know that was not a dominant performance. I think all of us expected Barcelona to look a little bit better. But maybe they just knew after they went down to 9, or after Mallorca went down to 9 men, like we all knew, game was over, didn't really matter, right? I thought the substitutions, Rashford came on, Gavi, Joffrey Torrance, they didn't do anything. Marcus Rashford getting paid $260K a week to do cardio up front. Now, we knew that he was going to come in at striker because Lewandowski is injured. And I noticed that Barcelona today, for the most part, once Mallorca went to that low block, they struggled to break them down. And even though we talk shit about Lewandowski, we say that he's washed, geriatric, he's old, etc., Lewandowski is an aerial threat that Barcelona now no longer have. He's out for the next few weeks. They can't cross the ball into Ferran Torres. They can't cross the ball into Marcus Rashford. So they were trying to break Mallorca down on the ground, and it just wasn't working like that in the second half. Lewandowski is going to be a big miss for Barca at the moment. But like I said, man, decent game. I think if you want to talk about just like each individual player, we saw Leo Roman, Mallorca's goalkeeper. Let's not forget, last season against Barcelona, when they only lost 1-0, he had an amazing performance. Like, that was one of the best goalkeeping performances that we've seen all season from a player when they played last time. Today, he was okay, right? Didn't really make a lot of big saves. He made about, I'd say, 2. But for the most part, he didn't really play like I thought he might have, right? Joan Garcia didn't really have much to do. Alejandro Balde, Kubarsi, Ronald Aruya, fucking Eric Garcia. It was just decent. For the most part, it was just Barca in Mallorca's half. Like, that's how a majority of this game went. I think Pedri had a good performance, right? The way that he was able to dictate the tempo, the way that he just brings calmness to that midfield. Look, Pedri is a baller, right? If it wasn't for Lamine Yamal, I would say maybe Pedri could have got man of the match, right? I think Feminine Lopez, stinker and hooked, okay? Everybody likes this guy for some reason. He's a mediocre player from the academy, right? Not just because you come from La Masia means that you're the best thing walking since sliced bread, okay? Feminine Lopez, stinker and hooked. Lamine Yamal, man of the match. Raphinha was decent today, scored a good goal. Some of his shots went wide. I think Ferran Torres didn't really do too much, but he did score that fraudulent second goal. So I guess. But yeah, the Barca subs in the second half, nobody really came on and made an impact like that. So look, like I said, decent performance for Barcelona, right? And if I do want to show you guys the table right now, right? Barcelona are currently top of La Liga, right? And I'll pull it up right now. So look, they have to defend their title, and they've done that successfully so far with this first game. I was hoping that Mallorca were going to be able to do something. I was hoping that Pablo Torre, the ex-Barca player that they sold this summer, was going to be able to cook or maybe surprise his former team. He just showed them why they sold him. My man was out there doing nothing. But yeah, here's how the table looks right now. But don't worry, the kings of La Liga, the kings of Europe, Real Madrid, we do play in the next few days. So let's see how our game goes. But this is going to be a phenomenal La Liga season. I'm excited for it. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about this game and those refereeing decisions. Barcelona on match day 1. Strike already. It's a disgrace. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Turn on those post notifications.